people who are well-read, who are analytical. All of us have to really take up the mantle to solve this problem. It's getting worse every year.
Okay.
If you look around the community, you know, who owns businesses? They're located right here in our own community now. We don't own the corner grocery stores anymore. Barber shops we still have control of right now. But other than barber and beauty shops, not even the beauty and barber suppliers are black. Say years ago when you had Triangle Chemical, this man had a $2 million business. They developed in the 50s selling barber and beauty supplies. But after Mr. Holliday died in the early 70s, it just went straight downhill. It's no longer open. So all those strong institutions that we've had, and they're still sliding, is what puzzles me and worries me the most, is that it hasn't just leveled off.
And still a problem that we have to deal with.
Yes.
And the that's what's so intriguing about this. The resources that we have to work with are not there, but the market is there. And so what we have to do is try to tap that market. And how do you convince folks of that? I mean, you've been involved in newspapers and magazines and whatever.
Well, you know, I've taken some marketing classes where you try to follow the decision paths that people make, even when they're exposed to advertising and so forth. The laws of sublimation are strong, but there has to be a repeated message that's constant before there's any changes. You know, if you look at history, you look at any significant change, it starts with rhetoric. A lot of people talking.
Okay.
Then they get angry. They get fed up. And I voted for President Reagan in 1980 because I was hoping there would be a sort of a revolt. That, you know,
as a part, it's a negative kind of thing. That
but we have to reach that level where we just decide we're not going to take it anymore. And, you know, when you look at what happened in Texas, where the African-American was dragged behind a truck to his death, look at what happened in California, New York, the man shot 41 times, and there's no outrage. So I read in a magazine once that said, I can't remember who said it, but he said, we're too easy. We need to really become concerned, get mad, not to the point of a riot.
Right, but you know, as one of my professors used to say a long time ago, don't get angry, get smart.
There you go.
See, and I think that's one of the issues.
And so I think more of us need to wake up and, you know, realize that when Tennessee State loses 1,300 students, when they're already experienced flat enrollment, that we're all in trouble. When Meharry goes from 1,800 employees to under 800, we're all in trouble because those are places that paid more money to African Americans, doctors and so forth. So we're spending, still spending thousands of dollars a day. And based on our population, there are about 800 African Americans hospitalized somewhere every day. So why couldn't Meharry get at least 150? That's all they needed to survive.
But now, the merger with Meharry in general really has not served Meharry well at all.
Well, that's a misnomer. It really wasn't a merger. It was, Meharry's a landlord.
Okay.
They have no control whatsoever over General Hospital now. They get rent.
Okay, and so for all practical purposes, the influence that it once had is no longer available
Not
to
at
it.
all.
And you can sort of spread that all across the institutions within the African American community.
Yes.
Is that what we're saying? And that's what you have to fight against. In other words, that's what you have to explain in a real sense.
Well, I think what we fought for originally, we talked about political, economic, and social advances. We have the social advances, but without the political and economic, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
And so that's what we have to work on now.
That's what we have to work on.
And one of the things, as we end this show for today over the last 41 seconds, one of the things that we have to do is to get Africans back into the voting booths and to
That's one area that we've begun to make some advances. You look at what Harold Ford Jr. was able to do, what Howard Gentry was able to do, and now Barack Obama gives tremendous hope.
All of those are good signs for the future, and if we can only build upon those and work with those, you think that we might be
that would be one of the three-legged stools
that we could get. Okay, and of course, Mr. Latham, let me thank you for bringing that excellent information by.
Thank you, Dr. Haney, always.
And of course, let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.